Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here. Welcome back to the Georgia State episode. Now, I kind of messed up the live stream portion because I accidentally deleted it because it wasn't working correctly on YouTube. I don't know how to work the schedule function. So here we go through a little quick down and dirty with this off season. Now, so far we have Crew Recruiter here. And we took the first 2 points in here so we can take the larger impacts and less time to scout, mainly for the less time to scout. And then I think from here we might move to more of the tactician, and like the goal is to get architect, and then from architect you can kind of do a couple of other things. So we had a big year by Cameron Brown as the year went on in yards, but in touchdowns, not great. 13 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Not great. 2,200 yards, just shy of 23 in his senior season. We did have Prayer come in a couple of times, and even then, not great. And he is also graduating. So from there, it's Crandall and Stanley. Whoever stays, because obviously there's going to be some movement out. Xavier Butler as a true freshman, over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. We are going to have an issue keeping him here. And there's some funny stuff talking about him because he does hit the transfer portal. We do put some points on him, and you'll kind of see that later how we put all the points that he's asking. He doesn't stay, but he doesn't actually go anywhere on a team. So I'm not sure what happened to that. I probably should have looked at that in that one, but it kind of is what it is. Brown also had nearly 600 yards on the ground from it there. A leading receiver, DJ Rouse, out of the slot, 730 yards, 71 receptions. He was also a lot in our screen game, so that's why he probably has a lot more receptions than anyone else. And the next one up there, Hullier, with 42 and 108 yards, does have 5 touchdowns. On the defense, it was all about Deuce Lee, the senior, 88 tackles, had 4 for loss, 2 interceptions with that. I mean, he was the leader on the defense, playing that linebacker core. Kobe Owens, returning next season, at 16 TFLs and 1 sack. He also had a lot of tackles with 79, which you like to see. And Butler up there with 6 sacks, our sack leader at this point, next to Howard with 5, the next one at Reader at 4.5. So a lot of these guys will be returning. When it looks at the offense here, overall offense, we're really unbalanced. Like in total offense, we are top 10, and we are top 10. Well, it's not really top 10, but around 5 to 6 with Georgia State being at 6 here with the points. The issue was on defense and turnovers. On the offense, we were pretty good in the rushing game at times, pretty good in the passing game at times. However, when it comes to this offense, I just didn't feel like we had a good flow at times, other than our running game. But on defense here, not great. I mean, points great, maybe like in yards, we gave up a lot of points when it came down to the entire thing. Passing, we're in the middle of the pack. Rushing, we were actually the best in rushing defense, but 25 sacks. We also had a lot there, kind of came on strong, but it's really the turnovers here. Only 3 fumbles, 4 interceptions. Our turnover difference was -8. Just not great overall. And that's that. And that's something we need to get better. With the NIL, we are the least spent for our roster in the conference. And I mean, the most spent right now is 595. Give you some reference where we are nationally. We're at 165. Like the bottom, was that 7 at this point? Ohio State being the top, 4,755. So that kind of shows you the gap between us and places like Ohio State. So we go into recruiting, and we did get some 3 stars. We like to see that, and some guy coming in. True freshman Adongbo will be one of the guys that likely starts next season, as we're filtering out a lot of guys with some issues. Here's a look at the college football playoff. Nothing really surprising on this one. Michigan State maybe at that at 10-2, but a couple of no loss teams in Kansas State there, and I would expect them to do some good stuff. We did get our ad expectations all this season, so we'll get an extra 120 points. And I do want to say I like the Heisman Trophy bit of introduction. So I'll put a little bit into this, and I like some of the quality of life stuff that you see with some of the presentations, things like that. There is some wonkiness with, say, the quarterbacks, because they do have a combined touchdowns instead of like their passing. Like John Matier here has 45 total touchdowns. That is because the man only has like 27 passing, but like 17 or 18 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, when a quarterback has that many rushing touchdowns, they'll end up being a Heisman favorite. But still, I like that they take into account total touchdowns and yards. Funny enough, there's not rushing yards including, so there's not like a total yards in that, which I think is interesting, how there's total touchdowns but not total yards with that. But I do like the presentation here. You see all 4 quarterbacks on here. I'd like to see a running back. Maybe we can get a running back up here in the future. But obviously it goes to John Matier with all of those rushing touchdowns as the quarterback. A good dual threat out of Oklahoma, and you see some good interactions. I like the quality of life stuff they do with this one, as we see him with the trophy here, looking at it, and he is going to hoist it as the winner. The goal is to have one of these. I don't know if we'll get there, but it's possible. It's very possible, as we see the man, the myth, the legend out here. Those 28 passing touchdowns, and I think 17 rushing touchdowns, at 3,700 yards passing, and then 733 yards rushing with that. The man had more rushing yards than their halfback. So the awards here, we have one for the Jet Award. Xavier Butler misses the Sean Alexander Award, which is the Freshman Player of the Year. Unfortunate with that one. Keelan Russell out of Alabama gets that, but pretty good job there. The managed staff, we go ahead and we take 2 new guys coming in. We're going to change up the offense to a pro style, but we're going to keep this 3-3-5. And the college football bracket, here it is. It ends up being Louisville versus Oregon at the end of the day. No big shockers in this entire thing. I mean, Michigan State does lose. And then the only one I would say is how bad Louisville beats Miami 38-17. But otherwise, a lot of close games, besides the Ole Miss and Utah game as well. But some good games here. Program budget at the end of the season. Yeah, we're all F's, but that does mean we do get some more budget. We get that performance budget there for 235 extra, and then we have some extra ones from coaching abilities. This is what I'm talking about here. Xavier Butler, we put all 195 in him, and then we spread out a couple more points. We do get a couple of guys to stay from this, but holding guys with NIL with us is going to be a very difficult time. It's not something I expected straightforward. With a guy like Butler, he had a great year, and obviously he's going to go on. Another guy, Cameron Lampkin, likely starting because of these guys transferring out. And here's where you kind of see it. He is going to leave Walker, so the top 2 players in this. And there is a lot. We do attempt to keep a Crandall here. Unfortunately, he leaves as well. So it's going to be between Stanley and whoever we bring in at quarterback for this one. I mean, it comes down to the point where I'm not sure why Crandall would leave here. I mean, he likely would be the starting quarterback if he did not leave. And, well, he doesn't want to play here. but we're going to build something great, even if he wants to transfer out. So we have some more one here. Jonas DeClona. We're starting to see some guys coming in with some transfers. Gates there, the 1-star. Dylan Mass, the 2-star. Iguanagu, the 2-star out of Fort Lauderdale. Pat DeMarco, we bring in a punter. And then Adrian DeMarco there, blocking tight end, going to be our fullback. Hiaho here at halfback, the 1-star out of Alabama. Brian Bloom there, another tight end. Colin Harris. And then Jamar Wilder, a transfer. He will be our starting halfback. And the big guy, Tayshawn Lyons, another transfer, getting some speed into the receiving core. And then Luke Evans, the corner with that. One thing I found out that was pretty cool is I put a couple of offers just in that last portion. And, well, they signed anyway. We got a couple of depth trait upgrades here. Hollier to an impact. And I think we have 3 in total. Butler up to an impact as well because of those sacks. And it is actually going to be 2 of them and not 3 that get it for some training results. Now, some cool stuff. Some of the transfers, they fixed it, do get some numbers pump up in this training, as we see Stanley up to a 73. Wilder's up to an 84. The transfer in. And we do see some good stuff. Murray there, the 91 speed. We'll have to see how that goes. Lyons gets 2 more speed, up to an 84 as a senior, 93 speed. We're going to hope that he comes through big. And McGee also gets to take a speed. So that is nice to see there. Hollier up to an 81 as a junior. And then we go in the offensive line. We're going to have to move around this offensive line a bit. We'll kind of go in that later. A left tackle or right tackle is going to have to kick in to guard, so we have someone playing center, because we have a true freshman center we're definitely not going to start. It's just one of those things where all of our centers kind of left the building. So yeah, that does happen on these lower teams. Here's Rudiger gets a +6 and a +7 for Irvin, so it's nice to see some of this lower overall guys get some good push. Harris at a 74. Bransford in the middle, our best defensive tackle, is 71. The same linebacker, not great. We're gonna have to move some players over, but we do have some good speed. And then Butler, we'll see if he can go on a +8. We're going to a 75 overall in that one, which is nice to see. The clone is there. Evans gets a +1, so it'll be our senior starters. McCurry in the slot, and we have some freshmen red shirts down the last 3, so hopefully they can take over as they get better over time. Free safety, Gates the senior up to a 75. Bailey hoping to see him up in the 70s next season. And then Holtz is up just in the 70, which means we'll probably have a true freshman out there. Meester, the kicker, is not going to be the kick power there, as we see Verl Smarty has 89 kick power, has a +4 on that. He's going to be a starting kicker, because reality, the accuracy isn't a big issue, I don't think, because of me. I just will miss kicks regardless, so the accuracy isn't a big thing, but that kick power is a big thing we need to have, and so we can get it. Here's our new ad expectations: score at least 20 points a game, win 25% of our home games, and get at least 1 3-star recruit to sign or better this season. So 50, 25, and another 15. Our schedule for this year, we start out with the Eastern Carolina, Kennesaw State, Sam Houston, before we start conference play with Marshall, Arkansas State, Appalachian State, Georgia Southern, James Madison, week 8. We have all in those first 8 games, we do have 4 straight home games, which means the last 4 games starting week 9 will be away games. And we do have all of our rivalry games, but then we go Old Dominion, UL Monroe, NDSU, and Coastal Carolina. We did end up buying the recruiting assistant to get some recruiting hours, so it's going to give us an extra 75. We have 200 right now, so that giving us another extra 10% would give us an extra, well, see, we're giving us an extra 25 points. Actually, my math is off, but that extra 25 is going to help a lot in the grand scheme of things. But here we are in with Coastal Carolina. Now we have to talk about recruiting right quick. Remember, the recruiting patch came out about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, probably longer. It's probably been a while. But the patch is now in this because we are in the next year. So with that being said, we kind of slowed down year one a little bit, kind of sort of to reach that factor. But now we can do whatever. That whatever means bring up Briscoe here. An elusive bruiser, going to be a running back contention up here. And our 3 stars we're going with is Coca-Cola, Paquette, Burnett will be our big 3 stars. We put 25 points a piece on those 3. And at the top, we're having a little bit of competition. DJ Mayer, he didn't find any gems. But DJ Mayer being an 82 speed out at corner, probably not the best. But we redshirt him the first year. Out of tight end, Odom being a vertical threat with that 82 speed could give us 2 years of good play with that 82 speed. Kind of give us a little bit more oomph in the 12 personnel area. Yeah, because it'd be 11 personnel. If it's 1, it'd be 12 personnel because 2 tight ends. Yeah, so 12 personnel at that. Andy at corner. Still 84 speed, not a lot in that. One of the biggest things is going to be corner, and we are trying to fill that gap. So it's been a bit of some difficulty. Now the starters. I know we had Stanley in and Alba. We tested them both in that live stream. I want to show off a little bit from that previous episode, but we're going to go with Stanley. Yes, Stanley is more like a tree in the pocket. Alba has that speed. But the accuracies of Stanley, I think, are more prominent. We'll probably see both of them depending on how the season goes. Wilder, the transfer in the backfield, we'll see a lot of him. On the line, we did flip out. So Stanley is a right guard. We kicked him inside to center. Smith kicks in from right tackle to right guard, and then Maskell will be the starting right tackle. And then the receiving core here, Reynolds, McGee, and the man, the myth, the legend that will help our offense with some speed is Lyons out there, the transfer coming in, and then Hollier at tight end. Defense has gotten better because we were a 66 defense, but we're not, I mean, it didn't get much better. It's a 69 at this point, I think it is, or maybe even a 68. Bransford, McCray, and Harold all down at the bottom. Yes, not big overalls, but we're hoping that it comes down to the linebacking core. Owens in the middle. We have Butler, who will probably kick in as one of the edges. Had 5. Heck, I think he had 6 sacks last season. So we'll see how he can impact here. Adongobo, not Adongobo, but Adongo out here at the will, going to be the guy that's a true freshman. One of 2 true freshmen starting on this defense. In there. In the secondary, Evans out wide. We bought in DeClona in on a transfer, so a little bit better on corner. We graduated our 2 best corners, or maybe even our 3 best corner last season. So we had to kind of pull some people in that could start on a pinch because we have no real cornerback depth because we're losing a lot of players when it comes to not having the school ratings. Gates and Holt being the free safety and strong safety. And then we're going to start our second true freshman. Is going to be on the defense along with Adongo is going to be Lampkin. He's going to be our starting strong safety. And so we're going to see 2 true freshmen. So we feel good with how we're going to do. Now we need to talk about East Carolina in this one. And that is our first here. I don't know why it does this and doesn't do that, but their best player being Samuel Harris out of the backfield with 89 speed. The defense is decent, and then Donovan Hamilton here, the All-American, is pretty decent ourselves, but decent line. I mean, you're talking about a team that's 71 across the board, and it's ran by this offense by Emory Williams. And he's a pocket passer, 74 speed. At least we're not dealing with the 81 speed of Mason McKenzie, but I think we just need to get some pressure, and pressure means sacks and possibly some interceptions, because our turnover ratio was terrible last season. So we need to fix that. One thing I do want to show you also before we get into this game, because we have East Carolina and then the follow-up I think is Kennesaw State, is the school portion. Now, what we're looking at, I mean, our top schools, not great. I don't think we're going to get up into the D- this season for top schools. The championship contender, if we win another 5 to 6 game season, again, I think we could get in the C- and we'll hover around there. Program tradition is just win games. Win games. And so that's what we have to do. And if we get in a bowl game, we would propel ourselves over this. I'm hoping that this goes up to D- this season. But campus lifestyle, we can't change that. Stadium atmosphere, we started home here. We need to get home games. Home games, that's the biggest thing. And so we're hoping that we can continue our last 2 wins from last season and bring it over. Pro potential is just going to have to be players that are picked, and we have no draft picks here at Georgia State, so that's something we have to do. Brand exposure, this is again getting TV, games of the week. Obviously, we have not even remotely been close to a playoff, because that's funny. But we don't have much to really make it up here. We could probably move this up in the next couple of games. Academic prestige, we can't move it up. Conference prestige is a little bit more difficult on this, but I mean, if we get into bowl games, we start getting towards ranked. Appalachian State was ranked towards the end of the year, so that might help a little bit. Coaching stability, just stay at the school. That'll come up over time at that. And coaching prestige will also. Athletic facilities, we do need to get some stuff, and this is pretty much stagnant until you buy things, and we're not at that point right now, maybe going into next season, but we are a half star right now, so we've gained a half star. I think we can get up probably 3 to 4 of these this season, and then we could possibly get up to a max of 5, I would imagine. So here we go, Coastal Carolina. We're gonna play in our black uniforms because I do like the nice, cool black uniforms. But here we go in this game at home. So first game of the season, we got our Blue Panther out there. We're wearing our blacks, as is occasion to start the year. I think that's what we're gonna do. That will be our habit. First game of the season on our blacks, sporting the Atlanta across the chest for our first home game. Starting to see a little bit more in the stands. There's still a lot of seats out there that need to be filled, but starting to see a little bit. East Carolina is our opponent in this one. A similar team. We look a lot better at times, but can we get the turnovers? That's what we need this season, as we have a kickoff to start year 2. This one's going to be about 5 yards deep and kneeled down by East Carolina. Now out at halfback, Samuel Harris leads this offense. We'll see a lot of him likely today. The star there with the number 26. He's going to have a play action over the middle, and good throw by Emory Williams. Williams is going to give the handoff here to Harris, and that is going to be a short gain of 3. Quick throw on the outside to the receiver screen. Tries the spin move, but he's still going to have the first down. Harris in the backfield, movement over to the right side. Quick throw down the seam, and that is overthrown. Williams hit a man, but just could not put it on him. Quick throw left side, spin move, and not a great stationary spin move. I don't know who he's juking there, but that's a 3rd and 4. Dropping back. We send one extra, and it gets home, and that will cause a punt. So we'll see the speed of Tayshawn Lyons in this offense as we are out here with Stanley, and Wilder gets the first carry of the game. in the backfield, one tight end. Quick throw underneath. Lions getting active early there. That'll make it a 3rd and 3. Late handoff to Wilder, and there's 2 Pirates that meet him there, and that's not great. We punt it back, giving a short field, but Harris taking in the backfield. We blitz again, has to get away on the left side, and that dump off does end up being a first down. So we have our first injury. Not great on the defensive line. Play action, looking has time. You're gonna dump it off in the flat again, and just getting 3. Stacked on the left side. It's going to be a screen, and we get through the blocks, and that's a great play by Kobe Owens. What a great play. And it's DJ Harold on the line, that's one injured a couple plays ago. What a play by Owens. Scrambling out, looking here, and Williams is going to be short. They'll say 4th and inches. They're going to go for it. Looking here, we're going to send the house, and it's a man coverage there. And that's an easy conversion with the slants. Hand off here to Harris, and he is stopped near the line of scrimmage for a short gain. Tight end right side, Harris again, and he's stopped. He's going to lose. Actually, they'll say he gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 8, dropping back. It's going to be a little bit of a makeshift screen there. We bottle it up early in a 2nd, 4th down here, and that is in space, and what a play, and knocked away. Great coverage as we're going to start this next drive with Wilder. Only a gain of 2. Stanley in the backfield, dropping back, looking, rolling off to his right. Fine time. He's going to run for this one and slide short for a 3rd and 1. Hand off here. Wilder gets to the outside. He's going to have the edge and a first down. Bunch set, dropping back. Stanley over to Hollier's first catch of the season, goes for 6. We're just trying to be efficient on offense. Dropping back, blitz is picked up, and that one just running in the pressure wasn't needed. With a 3rd and 4 though, underneath again, and McGee has that first down, taking a big hit. Dropping back, blitz is picked up. We roll away from it, looking, going downfield. He has a man. It's McGee running into some space against the zone defense. Great play. Good identity downfield, and that is a great ball. We're going to give this to Wilder. Wilder up the middle, stopped. We have an injury on the offensive line. That's not great. It looks like the center, or our makeshift center, we've kicked in, and that is not a great one. Rolling away, Stanley, pressure up the middle, has the edge, while the first down and taken out of bounds. As Stanley will have a rib injury, so we'll keep him out until he's ready to get back in. Going to be a handoff to Wilder. Make it a 2nd and 8. Dropping back, looking, trying to bait everyone into the screen. We have the 10, the 5, going for the first down, the goal line. We do get the first down. They'll make it a 1st and goal from the 2. We had issues here last season, but it is not last season. Year 2 with Wilder, a lot of stuff on the ground. That's going to be our first touchdown of the season. Will be a short yardage 2-yard touchdown by Wilder. It's going to be all about the running game as we have a young quarterback, and I think Wilder can take this ball as much as he needs it. As we see here, going over the middle, Emory Williams finds his man coming across the middle, and a great first down. Pump fake. Looking, Williams under pressure, and down he goes. He puts the ball on the ground. It's recovered by Butler. Butler is brought down, and that's our first turnover taken away by the defense. And we sent a pretty good blitz there the prior play, and it got some pressure there with the defensive line to end that first quarter. Going into the second, the Wilder with a great gun of 11. We'd like to see that. Blitz is coming from the corners, and down he goes. Hayden Caston with the sack, and it's a 2nd and 18. Another blitz is there. We quickly throw it behind it. McGee has to adjust, not able to get that in stride. It's a 3rd and 17, dropping back. Another blitz picked up. We roll away from it, looking downfield. Don't like what we see. We're going to run for it. At the 15, it try to get the first down. It's not there. We're going to go for it here. 4th and inches, dropping back. Blitz again. Panic throw out in the flat, and that is incomplete. Probably should have taken the points though. But we'll see if East Carolina can capitalize that. They have a full length to go with some tempo going on here. As Harris gets out the left side for a second carry, 3rd and 2. Harris in the backfield. Going to be given off to him and nowhere to go, as that's a 3 and out, and we will get the ball back with a decent short field with this, starting from their own 49, as Stanley just does not have the speed of Brown. We can't use him the same way, but he does get 3. Stanley, a delay handoff there to Wilder, and Wilder makes it a 3rd and short. A lot of bunch with an I formation. We try to put that up the middle, and there's so much traffic there. Should have bounced it outside. We're going to go for this one. It's the handoff off the backside, and what a play. Wilder's taken it down, and we give it back to this offense. A 6-yard run by Harris. He's going to try to repeat that, and he will get 5 for a first down. Bit of stacked here with the tight end in the backfield. Giving up the middle, and what a play by Owens again with a good stop, working through that block as we send one more, and that's picked off. It's the true freshman Lampkin in the flats. One man to beat, and he dives and misses. There it is. We had an edge blitz off the corner, it looked like, and what a play. Lampkin comes down. He identifies the play in the flats. The pressure makes Williams make a mistake there. Throw it not where he wants it to be. And just a lackadaisical thought out there, and Lampkin makes him pay. So Harris out here showing what he can do, breaking a couple tackles and getting a gain of 9. 2nd inches, quick throw in the screen, and that's a dangerous one. We're all over that one. That's incomplete. Man in motion to the left, another screen, and a great open field tackle for a 3 and outs. So a punt here, almost had a block there, as Murray's going to take this one at the 20. Weaves in, gets a couple of blocks, the 40, the 45, 50, and just kind of pushed out of bounds, tackled out of bounds at the 42 of East Carolina. Dropping back, going underneath the Reynolds. Playing a little slot today, and he has a gain of 8. Handoff. Wilder, this pro identity on offense is doing great with the I formation. 1st and 10 looking. Blitz is picked up. Actually, they only sent 4. We're going to not see anything downfield. And Stanley with the wheels for the first down. Dropping back, bunch left side. Gonna roll off to the left. Looking, has a man, cannot throw it across his body. Smartly throws it away here. Identifies a man wide open, and they don't mark McGee one-on-one there, and that is a mistake. And we're up 21-0 in our first game. The 20 points threshold is here all day, but what a touch pass over the middle, and unfortunately too high for Williams. Dropping back, looking. We're going to send another edge pressure from the slot corner, and they just find the man right behind it on that out route, or actually the deep post route to the outside. Next one, Williams, a contested throw that needs to be thrown lower, and we have a good pass breakup. 2nd 10, dropping back, pressures in his face, finds this man with the streak across the middle of the field. Short in route, but able to get some good yards. 2nd 10 though, running, or 1st and 10 I should say. It does make it a 2nd and 19 with that sack, and that is what we like to see. Trey Grant and company off the edge. We're gonna send a blitz there, and we could have had a great sack, but Harris able to get that one, only for a gain of 2 though. 3rd and long, dropping back. Harris kind of stuck out in the backfield as he goes down again. What a sack to end that drive, and we have a minute left to get something going here. Set up the screen to Wilder, has a couple of blocks and a good gain, and we're in the hurry up. Clock is ticking. Dropping back, looking, rolling over to the right side. Gonna see if we can get a couple of blocks. We do, and out of bounds to stop the clock. Working into Pirate territory, dropping back. They do send forward. We're going deep forward all, and Squire out there. I think that's Square. It might be Squire. I don't. It looks like Square, but he just cannot reel it in. We're gonna go underneath on 3rd and 2 to get the first down as we take our second timeout. 22 seconds left. Dropping back, looking, don't like anything we see. We're going to slide there. And we're take our final timeout. 17 seconds left. We have to get out of bounds here. Looking. We're going to go and look deep. We're going to throw this out of bounds here. 10 seconds left. We need something of a foot. Let's see his foot. It's up. Just inside. And that is what we like to see. What a great leg out here. Burrow. We're just going to call him Burrow. Love to see it. East Carolina's just going to take a knee to take this one 24-0. What a great start. We can't get complacent. This can turn quickly on a dime if we are not careful. We had some good games last season where they got away from us, but Wake Forest in over Pittsburgh 21-14. Any craziness? Arizona State beat BYU. That is the big one. The upset of the week as of right now. As DeClona has 2 tackles, 2 pass deflections right now. As the actually he's a senior transfer. It's just doing great. Now we're going to start the ball here. Going to give it to Wilder. Going the outside, making a man miss and breaking another tackle. That's a gain of 7. We like to see the movement there. Wilder just showing some pace and some good vision for the first down. 1st and 10 here, dropping back. Blitz is there, can't pick it all up, and down he goes. Stanley nowhere to go with the football. Good coverage downfield. That's a 2nd and 22. Blitz again up the middle. We're going to dump it off to Reynolds with the crosser, the shallow crosser, and that's 3rd and 18. Dropping back, the only rush. We get out of the pocket, looking downfield, and Stanley here just waiting to throw it. He is definitely beyond the line of scrimmage. If we threw that earlier, maybe we have a chance at a first down, but instead it is going to be an illegal forward pass and a punt back. East Carolina. Wilder took a shot to the ribs the previous play, so we'll see how that injury affects him in this game. But here with Harris getting the ball. Gonna run to the outside for a gain of 8. Looking, quick throw left side on the screen to the tight end. Nowhere to go. 3rd and 4. Movement in the backfield from right to left. Hand off to Harris. Harris has a couple of good blocks for the first down. Out of the shotgun formation. 4 receivers, play action. Looking, finds his man coming across. That was a great slant. And Hamilton with his 5th catch of the day. Gonna be a handoff to Harris up the middle, and they are just having a good mix and keeping us off balance. Tight end off to the right side, and another screen, not getting anywhere. 3rd and 3. Gonna be a handoff. It's gonna be a quarterback keeper by Williams. We are not prepared for that one. He does hold on to the football, and that is a first down. Tight end on the right side of the line, going to be a handoff, and Harris is met by 3 black jerseys in the backfield. Harris here flanking on the left, play action, looking, tight pocket, what a pass, but it's overthrown. Should have been 6 there, but just not accurate. Moving around, and what an arm tackle on Williams. What a play. Kalen Butler with his first clear sack today. Actually, it's his 2nd sack today, I should say. And he is already 30%, 33%, I should say, to the sack numbers of last season. That first play was a gain of 6. On the second play, though, what a great outside scheme run, and that's a first down. Dropping back here with a punch on the right. We're getting out of the pocket. Just stayed in the pocket. We had a couple men that were open. and just not able to get there. It'll make it a 2nd and 17. Dropping back. Gonna go underneath the Reynolds and make it a 3rd and 9. So a long 9 here. As we drop back, they send some pressure. Stanley puts the ball on the ground. It's going to be recovered. There's not a black jersey in sight that's going to get there in time. Wilder dives, trying to save that one. Just the pressure's there. Good blitz. And we're not able to hold on to the football. That'll be a 24-10 game. As we see here, looking deep, we did have a couple of players, and here's Lions. We stay in the pocket there, at least chuck it up deep, and Lions has a chance for a touchdown. So Stanley now in a cold streak. We're going to hand out the Wilder on the outside, and he's going to lose 1. Just not having a good time on offense. Dropping back. Blitz is picked up. We're going to set the screen here. Wilder going to cut back inside and have the first down. Last play of the 3rd quarter here. Let me hand off to Wilder. He's taken down behind the line of scrimmage, and it is not going well. A little back and forth as East Carolina and this defense of theirs has been nothing but spectacular in this 3rd quarter. We need to find something here going into this 4th quarter. We can't give up 14 points and allow them to get back in this game. 3rd and 6, dropping back. Looking, only rush 4. We're going to move around from it. There it is, deep. And it's dropped by Reynolds. He's wide open. You got to catch that one. He's thinking about running upfield before he catches the ball, and that is not what you like. But here, Williams getting a good run of 5 to make it a 2nd and 5. Movement in the backfield. It's going to be hitched off, and we easily get that for no gain. Dropping back, looking. Williams under pressure, finds his man, and what a catch! What a catch! A handoff to Harris. Harris breaking the tackle until it's cleaned up. A 2nd and 5 with a good run there. Tight end on the left side. The receiver on the left moves all the way around in the flat. Going to throw that flat little screen play out there. That's a 3rd and 2. They're going up tempo. Dropping back. Quick throw. And that is not something we were prepared to see. And Williams with 160 in an interception so far. Trying to get in to the positive in this one. But that is a good rush up the middle. Our first time getting pressure up there. And, well, that makes it a 2nd and 17. Quick throw underneath, and we easily corral that. 3rd and 13. Needs a first down. Harris in the backfield. 4 receivers out, moving away from the pressure. And down he goes. We only send 3. But Keelan Butler has half the amount of sacks that he had already in his first game with 3. Going to be a handoff in a little bit of I formation. Wilder up the middle, and that makes it a 2nd and 3. Ticking under 7 minutes left to play. Delay handoff. Wilder again. We're going to see this running game try to ice this one. But a play action. Looking. Thrown on the run. McGee here. Only a short game, but most importantly, the clock is still running. Dropping back. Play action. Looking. Only sends 3. We're going to run and slide. That makes it a 3rd and 4, keeping this clock ticking away to the 5:30 mark. Out of the shotgun, trips left. Looking, trying to buy some time. We do get it. Wilder out of the backfield, and that is a first down. We got 12 personnel with the tight ends on the left side. We're going to throw it on the right to the screen with Lions to get him involved. That's a gain of 3. He's been lightly involved today, but he's had pretty good coverage against him. And that's McGee. Forced out of bounds, and that is going to stop the clock. Not what you want here on offense. As a handoff to Wilder for the first down. Clock is ticking. 3:45 left to play. Stanley under center. Play action. Looking, and he's going to go down with a sack. 11 combined sacks today. Neither offensive line has looked great, but That is going to be an injury again on the offensive line. Drop it back, Stanley. They only send 3 more. Looking downfield. Pass behind the receiver intended for Lions, and that's going to be picked. And we give a shorter field than what should be here for East Carolina. 2:55 left. We get something here. Hit as he throws and incomplete. That'll be a 2nd and 10. Empty backfield. Williams dropping back, going over the middle, and that is thrown at the feet of the receiver. 3rd and 10. Harris in the back to block. Going, what a touch pass. I'm not sure if the jump and catch was really warranted, but that is a first down. 2:30 left in this 4th quarter. Looking, has a man and a good tip-toe catch, and they're gonna say he's out of bounds. Did not retain possession before he goes out, but here's another great pass over the middle. And they need 14 points, 2 scores here as we hit the 2-minute timeout. Pressure in his face, throws it out of bounds, and they will serve that. Man in motion left to right, making a bounce, receiver set. Looking here, throws it out of bounds. No one is there. 3rd and 10. You got to keep that ball in play if you're East Carolina. Dropping back, looking over the middle, and what an easy play on the in route. Finds his man. Quincy Williams just would have played to Melvin. But we need to end this game here. Wilder up the middle. What a great run. They're going to call a timeout. 2nd and inches, single back. Going to hand it off to Wilder. He's going to have the first down, but they can still have a 10 to 15 seconds left if we don't get another first down. Hand off to Wilder. He's stopped for a small gain. Single back, trips left. Going to be a handoff and nowhere to go for that one. That's 3rd and 11. Looking at this. Gonna allow the clock to tick down all the way. So that'll put about a minute on this clock when we snap this. We need a first down here. Can we get it? Dropping back, quick throw left side. Wilder has the speed and he has the momentum for the first down. And that will be victory formation. We win this one by 7, 24-0, and we almost gave up in that second half. All of those points to make it a tie game. Wilder, the focus today, 25 rushes, a $109 and a touchdown. He will look to get a stronger role. I think we just needed to ease this game through, but our first half was great. Being blanked in the second half is not a good sign. But we did run the ball, and the offense was able to keep them off the field. What a game. What a game. The true freshman came through with a big interception for a touchdown in a 17-point second quarter. But we were blanked out in the second half. Not great. We made a couple of mistakes and put them back in the game, but ultimately we get this 7-point win. That's more than 20 points. So that's the basic thing we need to do. Over 20 points. So it felt like our rushes were pretty good there. Buck 16. We brought in their rushes also. Not the greatest in passing yards, but it's not like we have the best passer. So there's that. All right, we'll start our one. First start for the true sophomore here by TJ Stanley at 20 of 27, buck 75, touchdown, interception. And then for the rushing, buck 9 for Wilder at 25 attempts and a touchdown. We did have that fumble by Stanley, but it was recovered by us. No, that was one they recovered. Receiving, we passed it around to our receivers, but we could not get Lions downfield. There was a couple of times that we could have put it downfield, but pressure in our face or rolling away from it, we just couldn't stretch the field. But the Wilder had a good receiving game. Also, there was a touchdown. It was by McGee. In the blocking, we gave up 4 sacks because we were just rolling to the right or the left and we were getting sacked. Holt, 11 tackles. Owens with 10. You'll love to see that. TFLs, we were all over it today in the TFL department. 3 sacks by Butler. Good coverage downfield, and this is what kind of happens when you shut down the speed. You're able to get some coverage sacks. And then here it is, the true freshman, Cameron Lampkin, taking that one to the house. For East Carolina, Williams went 24-37, 215, touchdown and an interception. In the rushing, we balled up Harris to 59 yards off 16 carries. It was nice to see. Hamilton, though, 9 receptions, 87. A touchdown by Melvin here off 39 yards and 5 receptions. We did get some good sacks here on the right tackle, especially. On the defense, Gamble with the most tackles. 3 TFLs for DJ Johnson at that Mike linebacker position. We gave up 5 sacks. Not the greatest. Interception. Not a smart decision. We could have probably limited this and throw it away, but kind of is what it is. And then forced fumble, Miles Parker got that one, and then Jordan Miles took that. All right, here we go. Next week, take on, I think it's Kennesaw State. Okay, Everson locked us out. Program tradition went up. Nice. There it is. Program tradition. Nice. There's Kennesaw State. It's going to be Hakeem Crandall out here, who started 2 touchdowns that first game, just under 300 yards. So we got ourselves a great player here that we're going up against. In the rushing department, they did not have a lot of stuff. There's Derek Jameson with 42. Does have a touchdown. In the receiving, it's Dylan Gary, the All-American speedster out here with a $114. Clayton Kapic has 95 and a touchdown. Like, this might be a hard game in the air. So we'll see how the secondary does with this one. Only 1 sack by Zakir Abdul Salam. Interception by Tavon Lawson. So this is going to be a big one as well, especially with it being a rivalry game. If we can go 2-0 to start the season, it would be crazy. We are better than them, but I mean, it's a rivalry game. That's why we're playing them. So yeah, there's that. Now we got a rivalry game. Interesting. I didn't know this before this. The quarterback, Hakeem Crandall, is a transfer from us. So he moved from one school to the other. A rivalry. And so we need to make him pay. Hakeem Crandall, he is dead to us as we sack him today. Because he could have been the starter here at Georgia State. He wants to go be the starter at Kennesaw State. It is what it is. We're going to make him pay in this game, though. So here we go. Jameson, also the halfback. We'll have to bottle him up a bit. And we're going to see that offense come out first, as we have the big leg out here who had a big long-range field goal. And that is going to take about 4 yards deep, and they're going to start from their own 15. I don't know the idea of taking that out. We have won this rivalry 2-0. Last season was a 23-17 victory. And so we need to keep that going. Randall, play action going over the middle. And what a good scene there by the tight end. You can see a lot of movement on this offensive side, as that is a play action. He's going to go out to the running back out of the backfield. And Jameson does get 5. Looking here, tight end on the left side. Hand off to Jameson. Nowhere to go. And that will be a loss of 1. 3rd and 6. Going to be a keeper here. Crandall, what a good block. The right tackle takes out 2 of our guys. And that's a first down. Man in motion left to right. They're going to run it off to the left. No one to stop that. Good edge. Discipline on the edge for us. And it'll be a loss of 2. Dropping back. Crandall looking. Coming across on a medium in route. And that is another first down. They are rolling. Crandall gives it up to Jameson. And that is only a gain of 1. Our defense is playing stiff right now. Looking over to the left side, and what a through receiver. They were pretty much on the touchline, the outside, the boundary, but that's crazy. But also what's crazy is Jameson here making a great juke move on the outside to get the first down. Looking here, dropping back. That's time, gonna dump it off to his halfback. Jameson had to come out for that play. He is gassed. Back in the game here with this bunch set. 2nd and 4. Dropping back. Looking. And that is a great play on the receiver. And wow, we cannot allow that to happen. We got lucky with a follow-up tackle. But a 1st and goal. Jameson up the middle. And that's actually Brendan Hargood, number 29. I don't know why Jameson's not out here. Hargood, I guess it's their shotgun package, but Hargood is just getting absolutely beat up right now trying to rush this football. What a pancake on the outside, but it doesn't matter. And that is a great play. Wilder, a $1.09 last week and a touchdown. Can he have a big game against our rivals? Wilder's going to get this one up the middle, and he starts off with a good gain of 10. One set right side, only 3 on the line. We're going to give this to Wilder again, and a lot of speed on this defense, which actually corrals that. They're going to send 4, and we're going to run out on the right side. Looking, plants his feet and finds lines for a big gain, the 40, and the Owls are backed up in their own territory here. What a great play for Lions, coming across on a deep in route, and it's there. Plant your feet and send it. Stanley there on the right side. Hollier with the first down. Live formation, tight end right side. We have a little bit of a miscommunication back there. Yeah, he's a tight end, converted fullback, but lucky that wasn't a bad play. We're going to go over the middle, and that's in technically triple coverage, trying to get to Wilder. Not a great decision. And now it's going to be Owl's ball there, and we just put that in the sledgehammer. I don't know what they're sledgehammering out here, but I mean, we need to pound the football. They've reminded us, pound the football. Wilder is the key, and not throwing an Angelo Cunningham, who is playing a good will linebacker spot against Wilder. We need to hand the ball off to him. We're going to rush 3. Is this a handoff? In what? A power rush there. And he gets 4. Dropping back, looking. This time, Crandall out to the left side. And what a play out to Haygood. Now make it a 3rd and 2. Haygood in the backfield. We do send a blitz going outside. What a great play to stick your hand up there and just rake it out of his hands. Going to be a big punt here, and we're going to field it at about our own 21. Murray makes a inward move towards the sideline. Not really much room to go there, but does have a good return. Hand off to Wilder. There's a cut it inside off the receiver block, but cannot break it free. Bunch set, dropping back, looking. Going to go over the middle, and Reynolds has this one for the first down, and just moving the chains. The live formation, tight end right side handoff, and Wilder cannot get through the gap for a short gain. Dropping back, they do send 4. We're going to rush necessarily. We do get the pass off. It's not going to be a fumble. They will say it's a forward pass. 3rd and 8. Dropping back, looking, going underneath. A little bit of a low throw. McGee able to adjust and get the first down. Like to see that by the receiver, as we hand up to Wilder up the middle and make it a 2nd and manageable 4. Out of the shotgun. Dropping back, Wilder is going to pick up the blitz, but he throws. Lions underneath. We'll get the first down and then some as we work into the 2nd quarter. You like to see Stanley standing tall in the pocket, making that throw. The interception, though, was not great earlier. He's looking here, a trip set on the right, looking. Gonna throw it underneath to Hollier. Nothing is open deep, so good decision there to make it a 2nd 3. Wow, they're gonna get this ball, and we have to kick it back to the right. I don't know where the block there is on the left. We had to be patient, but we do get the first down. 13 personnel up the middle, and what a great run by Wilder, and we are going big. Another nice single back jumbo set with 13 personnel. We get away from the pressure until we throw it away. That was just a panic throw. Stanley going to be a handoff. Wilder nowhere to go. Our goal line issues continue, but we do tie the ball game with a field goal. That's Haygood on the right side for a small gain. Man in motion from right to left is the tight end in the backfield. It's going to be quarterback keeper. And that, what a move by Crandall, and he has nothing but green grass. One man to beat, forced out of bounds, doesn't want to take the hit. And that is a great play. We're going to blitz him here. And the next one, it is out of his hands. Harris has it. He's stumbling, bumbling until he gets down at the 33 of the Owls. Harris with that, as we see this, Owens again, big impact. Comes in on the blitz. Crandall not expecting it. Hits hard, and that is on the ground. And what a great defensive play. We're going to start out with Wilder up the middle for a short gain. We need some offense here as we drop back. The extra rusher is picked up. McGee, though, has to kind of stutter in place to get that grab. It's a 3rd and 5. Dropping back. Stunts on the line. We're just going to roll away from the line. Looking. Has Amanda beat, and he's not going to beat him at the sticks. 4th and inches, going to be a handoff. Wilder makes a break for it, and the diving defender misses. First touchdown of the day for Wilder. Had one last week. We are going to be pounding this rock. As Kennesaw State has no answer for Wilder if we can get the blocks. And what a great run on a 4th and inches. 4th and inches. And I don't know what this is, that tail. What are we doing here, mascot? That tail is a little suspect. But hopefully what's not suspect is his defense, though. And it is a little suspect here with a great run by Haygood. Dropping back. Crandall looking on the slant. And we just do not cover it fast enough. But what a great play by Crandall to stick in the pocket. Dropping back. With the play action, looking in. I don't know what that was, but there's no one there. 2nd and 10. Gonna be a throw and a screen. There's a sideline screen out there. We do corral it. And I'm gonna get a 3rd and 4. Dropping back, looking. A lot of movement on this defense. I'm not sure if we're ready. It doesn't matter. There's a sack. And that's Harris. He has himself a fumble recovery and a sack. As he starts bullying Crandall. I like that. Crandall should have stayed over here. I like the swagger there. Gotta show him how strong you are to his face and how he should have never transferred. We hear Stanley under center, tight ends to the left, play action, rolling away from the pressure, and that is a dumb throw. Just a dumb throw. Yes, I have X open down the field. I'm not going to be throwing that off balance. Just a dumb throw. That has to be a throwaway. Or better yet, just stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket. Deliver it to X. He's wide open there. Or throw that sooner. I don't even think that ball thrown sooner matters. So it's a 10-10 ball game. Stanley cold. Wilder even colder. And that's a loss of 3. I don't like that look. They bunched up set. Looking, we're going to go underneath the Reynolds. Reynolds will get that and a couple of big stiff arm blocks there. Or broken tackles, I should say, for the first down. Hand off to Wilder. Bounce out on the left side. Needed one more block, and Lions, if he has that block sooner, we are gone. Dropping back, looking. Stanley, pressure in his face, delivers it to McGee. He has a 2nd and short. Give me a handoff. Wilder. No one in the middle. Bobbing around into the secondary for a big run. He is just under the century mark on the day off. 14 carries. looking out of the shotgun, dropping back. Pressure is there though, and down he goes. First sack given up today, and Stanley in the cold zone. Second and 14, blitz off the edge. We have to run away from this. Throw it across our body. Wilder there, and he has the first down, fighting for more yards. And what a day right now Wilder is having. Going to be a handoff, little RPO, and Wilder has nowhere to go as Kennesaw State takes their second timeout. Dropping back, blitz is there, trying to set up the screen, and it's there. Wilder for the touchdown. He has himself a passing touchdown. He has himself a rushing touchdown at 17-10. Wilder is doing it all today, and he needs to be the safety valve for this young quarterback. Dropping back here, and what a pick! Next play, it's 14 points back to back. Then is the transfer, the Kelowna, the two transfers with him and Wilder. What a play! We got the elephant out here. I don't know. I don't know if we need to be taunting people like we're Alabama. We are in Georgia. This is Georgia State. Kennesaw State's going to learn today. As Crandall, he had no business throwing that. And Kelowna runs that route better than the receiver. He knew it. He knew in his head. He knew what was going to happen there. And the dive in the end zone for style. It's 24-10 just like that. Dropping back. Crandall looking, has an in route. We need to wrap up and tackle right there. Clock is ticking. Minute 5 left. Out of the shotgun. Hey, good on his left. He's going to go out for a pass. And Crandall's going to take this himself and slides. He doesn't want that hit. Empty backfield. Looking. Hit as he throws. It's going to be way over any intended receiver. And that makes it a 2nd and 10. Quick throw left side. What a great play on those in routes. They're like the sideline in routes that are going in pretty deep as well. We're just not able to cover that in our zone. We have to throw this one underneath to Haygood, and we cover that really good downfield. And it's a 3rd and 7. Dropping back, looking Crandall, bouncing around the pocket. He had a man open, likely a hospital pass though. And this punt is the best you can do it. Puts us on the 1, which means we need to get out of the back of our own end zone. We can't kneel this down. We need something here. We're going to give it to Wilder. Wilder with a great play. And again, if we have another block there, we take that one to the house. We do. But instead, we're going to go into the half. 24-10. What a big turnaround there between Wilder and that screen touchdown to the defensive touchdown. And it's flipped. Just like Oklahoma State has flipped Notre Dame, the #1 overall team, by 1 point. That's a crazy idea. Florida State over North Carolina. Louisville beats the hell out of SMU. Then you have a slugfest there, Texas State and Vanderbilt. Game by 2. Wilder so far, 111 yards on the ground, 16 attempts, 2 combined touchdowns right now. You'll love to see it. We need to get him more involved, as we need to get another transfer more involved. This is Lions getting this underneath in the crosser. 3 catches for 50 yards so far on the day. Dropping back, little play action. Gonna have to go under. I wanted to take a shot. You have to go underneath. We do a 2nd and 6 on this next one. A little bit of too much patience. Good tackle out the backside, make it a 3rd and 7. Going for it all. He has more than this step, and Lions beats this man out wide. The transfer. Is this the transfer game? Lions out here with a big day. That'll make it a 31-10 game. Wilder out here. The Kelowna out here. And we are showing, the transfers are showing out today. Randall could have had this offense, but instead he's under pressure by our defense, gets away from it, and he is going to dive. He doesn't want that hit. That's a 1st and 10 from the Al 43. Dropping back, looking, we send an extra one off the edge, going deep. It's going to be 3 guys there. Hit, and he had a chance to come down with it. Crazy here. Pocket collapses here. We only send 4. And that is another great sack. And we send another 4 rushers after him. And we just have nothing but motors up there to get the ball back. What great defensive plays we have in the line of scrimmage. As Wilder here trying to cut that back. We just don't cut it back enough. We do get only a yard. Out of the shotgun. Dropping back. Right tackle just throws that man on the ground. We had RB open as he came across. We just did not throw the ball. 3rd and 8. Blitz is there. It's picked up. We're going to run away from it, throw it, and just throw it in the... I don't want to talk about that. That's a bad decision. As Haygood gets this one up the middle with a good run to start this drive, working into Panther territory. Another quarterback keeper, and he wants to get hit with that big hit. Hold on to the football. As we have out of the shotgun here. Quick throw on the RPO on the outside. Crandall with that quick arm motion. And out of the shotgun again. A pressure in his face. Throws a little high. And that's a nice little route coming out of the backfield. Hey, good. That is nothing but white jerseys in the middle. That is a crazy throw. Empty set, going to throw on the outside. It has a couple of blocks. We do crash down that eventually. But that makes it a 3rd and 3. Condensed set, looking. Crandall gonna run for the first down and slide before he takes a hit. On the 13 here. In the red zone, play action, running from pressure, quick throw. And that's Jameson finally getting some action here out of the backfield before Haygood checks back in. Blitz is picked up. Pass out in the flat. Jameson nowhere to go. And it's a Jameson ball game right now in the I formation. 13 personnel set. Crandall looking, going underneath, and that is on. That's actually, I think that's on the ground. 4th and 5. Crandall looking. He's going to run for it. And he will have the speed on 4th down to get the touchdown. We cannot allow Kennesaw State to get back into this game. Being up 31-10 at one point, 21 points. We need to clamp down on offense, but we need to clamp down on defense also. So a condensed set. We're going to hand this off to Wilder. Wilder up the middle, cuts it back, hoping to get that block, but what a great push. And now Stanley in his face just hits his lineman with that throw. 2nd and 10. It trips right. Looking here, a little bit of a stunt. We're going for it here to the 50. Good throw, but just McGee can't haul it in. They're going to send an extra one. Looking over the middle. He was open over the middle. We go for Wilder out of the backfield, and he had a step. Just not an accurate throw. Kennesaw State starting from their own 35. Play action. Looking, going to dump it off into the flats, and we crashed down on that pretty handily. 2nd and 5. Randall going to keep this again. This time, not fooling anyone. We get the tackle. It's 3rd and 3. Receiver from left to right. It's hand off to Haygood. Haygood stopped. And it's going to be punted back to us. Out of the shotgun. Dropping back, setting up a screen here. Trying to get everyone to bite in on this. Wilder has a couple of blocks, and that will be a 1st down. Stanley with 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A little bit of rollout play action. Going to McGee. McGee has some room to 40 down at the 36. A little bit of a bunch set on the left side, kind of a modified one, but off the backside, no one picks it. And I don't know what Stanley's doing other than watching the football on the Jumbotron or whatever screen's there. Hollier's not going to catch him, and just like that, it's a 1-score game. It is a 1-score game between these two teams. Just, we're coming out of that play action. We have to do something with that ball quickly. Just off the backside, and Stanley needs to go to that. Do something there. Here we're going to hand it off to Wilder up the middle, and he is going to have a big gain. Our best gain so far, 20 carries, $145. And here another handoff to Wilder up the middle, and this time no gain. Stanley is a little cold here. Play action. Rolling away from pressure. He's going to run this one and get the first down. Into Owls territory at the 46. Trips left. Going to be a delay handoff. Wilder up the middle for 3. Out of the shotgun again. And we get a good look at the line of scrimmage with a good gain for Wilder. The live formation. Tight end lined up on the left side. Good lead by the fullback. Cuts it inside. And that is another big run. Wilder getting nothing but some good blocks. The outside the 10. Fighting until he's pushed out of bounds at the 5. Gonna be a handoff to Murray. And Murray is stopped. So in will check Wilder again. Pitch out. He has one man to beat. He's going to cut it inside so he cannot be beat at the sticks. The goal line, the pylon, I should say. That's 3 touchdowns for Wilder today. It's back to a 14-point game. Randall trying to get right back into this one. Play action. Looking. What a touch pass over the middle. And you can't write it up any better than that against that. As we go for it all, or he goes for it all, and what a moss! We just got mossed on the outside. Gary out here showing his height, his jumping and catching ability. And the Owls answer that quickly. It's back to 1 possession game. Dylan Gary out there just showing what he can do. It's a wobbly pass, but the play has to be made. This offense has to keep rolling here. Stanley going to use the block for a while to get something, a little play action. We run away from this one. Going over the middle, we have 2 guys that are wide open. That has to be accurate. 3rd and 4. Looking, going into pressure. X was wide open, coming across the field in the opposite direction, but not a smart play. So we give it back to the Owls on this offense. Hand off to Hey Goody up the middle. We do get some good run defense there. Dropping back. We do send an extra 2 rushers, and we do not contain Crandall for the first down. Hey, good up the middle, and that's another good gain in this rushing offense. Going to be another quarterback keeper, has a couple of better blocks, breaking a tackle, and he's just making us look silly. At the 30 of the Panthers, quick throw left side, and that is a smart little in route to make it a 2nd and 4. Going to be a quarterback keeper, and we just keep on putting a hit on him, but not able to do much. On 3rd and 2, Jameson will get the first down. And Haygood checks back in. Going up the middle, has a couple of good blocks for a gain of 11. 1st and goal. Condensed set. Hand off to Haygood. Haygood nowhere to go. That's a 2nd and goal. Dropping back. Another handoff up the middle. Trying to break a tackle. We do swarm that one. And it's a 3rd and goal. Dropping back, Haygood has nothing but room, breaks a tackle and into the end zone. And just like that, we did a 2-minute drive to win this game. Kennesaw State tied it up 38-38. Brendan Haygood, he's had some bad runs, but he's also had some really good runs. And well, Wilder, that's not a great run there. Well, actually, we'll get 4 out of that. Dropping back, pressure in his face. McGee underneath, has a block in front of him. What a great first down. We hand off to Wilder here. Needed to get that block again, but stuffed at the line. Dropping back, Stanley, pressure in his face. That's a dangerous throw if that's picked off. Stanley drops back, looking, has some time over the middle of the Reynolds. A nice little stop under the zone, and he gets the first down. Wilder. And a good run up the middle for 5. Clock is ticking here. We don't need to use our timeouts. As Lions with a crosser. What a great play. And Kennesaw State's going to start using theirs. Wilder breaks it on the outside to the left. And that's another great gain. The live formation. Looking. Has a block in front. Inside the 5. Taken down at the 2. No more timeouts for Kennesaw State. But while they're taking down at the 1, we're going to tick this down with about 15 seconds left. Little I formation, 13-man touchdown. Wilder with 4 touchdowns today. 4 combined touchdowns, 3 rushing and 1 passing. And maybe 1 play here left. Is Crandall looking? I don't know what he's doing. He's going to slide. He has no timeouts left. No one's going to get back. And that's going to be the last play. You needed something downfield. I don't know what Crandall's doing. But I'm sure he regrets. He regrets going to Kennesaw State. And here is the stat line. 216, 33 attempts, 4 touchdowns in total. The transfer, I mean, this was a transfer game. The transfers did great. Wilder's there. Like, Kelowna, that was great. In Lions, what a great game all around. What a game. It was close. The defense almost collapsed. But almost does not mean you did. And we win this game. Let's go. Let's look at the stats here. 518 yards total offense. 40 rushes in this game. That's crazy. We went 19 to 30, not great. We had some bad interceptions though in this one. But at the end of the day, we come away with the win. So we'll start with Kennesaw State. Hakeem Crandall, 23 of 31, 239, a touchdown and an interception. That interception was great. Crandall had 116 on the ground, 66 for Haygood running. Both of them had a touchdown. Crandall did have a fumble. We did recover. In the receiving, most for them, Dylan Gary. That ball up was crazy. Just bullying the corner out there. Just wow. And even though he's a speedster, he was still able to be tracked down at 88. Not really a speedster, but that 6'3" frame is crazy. Blocking, we had 2 sacks. On the defense, 11 total tackles for Wright. Houston had 3 TFLs. Sacks. We only gave up 2 sacks, but these 2 interceptions, not great. One of them was a pick 6, which I think was to Bell, right? Yeah. Not a great decision. It is what it is. Over on the passing, Stanley, 19 of 30, 293, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. In the rushing game, 216 for Wilder. It's a lot of back and forth. But 216 for Wilder is crazy. 3 touchdowns. Like, just running the football here. 132 for Lions. That's what we needed on the day. 5 catches, a touchdown. I mean, he had 1 deep ball that was 62. McGee at 74. Wilder at 35 and a touchdown. In the blocking, we gave up 1 sack today. That's interesting. McCreary had 10 total tackles. He's our leader. TFLs, Butler with 2, Lampkin with 2. Nice to see him up in the box. Sacks, Harris, Butler, and Owens. Interception by DeClona, and DeClona came in and had that touchdown, which was nice. The forced fumble was by Owens, and the recovery by Harris was also great. Just what a freaking game. Got 1,000 points for that for the coaching portion. Jesus. Okay. All right, and to next week. I see UConn out here beating down Miami in the ACC. They belong in the ACC. Those reaches top 3, in which we are the top one there. Brand exposure is a D-. Let's go. Brand exposure going up. That's nice to see there, which some of these are dropping down. Pro potential is going to kill us, and a little bit of championship contender. I kill us a little bit. How's West Virginia D+ here? Are they not having a good time? Of course, your Sun Belt player of the week is Jamars Wilder. 33 carries, 216, had 3 touchdowns on the ground, and had 1 in the air. Sam Houston is the next game. Recruiting is pretty much already set at this point. You don't have to worry about this. That visit, though, we might have a soft offer on this before he does that visit, which might be a big push. I mean, unless they're putting 50, then that's going to be something that's easier. Damian McQuet might be taken if obviously we can't compete with Oregon or Clemson, but we'll see how this goes at the end of the day, but I feel pretty good. So next episode is Sam Houston. And then we go and start the conference, starting with Marshall, which will be fun. Sam Houston, that is going to be at home in Atlanta before we travel. Actually, the next 2 games will be at home. Next 4 games will be at home. This one, then we go on a 4-game road trip at the end of the season. I mean, you're talking about broadcast here. We got 3 broadcasted games. We're just an entertaining offense right now. We'll take the broadcast games. Top 25, any shockers in here? UAB at 25 at 2-0. UCF at 2-0 at 22. Other than that, Boise State 18 at 2-0. But not really any shockers. We see Alabama there, 10 being 3-0. It's crazy. Texas 3-0 there at number 3. So nothing crazy like that. Obviously, there's been 1 conference game between Arkansas State and Troy. Otherwise, we haven't had anything like that. Heisman watch, Archie Manning's up the top now. So it was only a matter of time until he was there. So I will see you guys next time when we play Sam Houston and then start against Marshall. Later, guys.